What if I told you there are vegetables so stubborn, so self-reliant, and so ridiculously easy to grow that they've been thriving for centuries without a single gardener's help? Vegetables that laugh at drought, shrug off poor soil, and keep producing food while you're inside watching TV. Number 7 is so aggressive it literally plants itself across your entire yard. Number 14 survived conditions that would kill every tomato plant you've ever owned. And the bonus tip at the end reveals the one pattern all 20 of these vegetables share, the secret that makes them virtually indestructible. And you've been pulling them out of your garden for years. Let's get into it. Purslane. Most gardeners already know this plant, they just think it's a weed. Purslane is that thick, succulent-looking ground cover with paddle-shaped leaves and reddish stems. It grows in sidewalk cracks, gravel driveways, and the hot, dry corners of your garden where nothing else survives. Purslane contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other leafy green vegetable on the planet. It's also packed with vitamins A, C, and E. The entire plant is edible. The leaves are crisp and slightly tangy. The stems have a satisfying crunch. Even the tiny seeds are nutritious. Purslane thrives in zones 5 through 12. It loves heat, tolerates drought, and couldn't care less about your soil quality. You don't need to plant it. Just stop pulling it out. One thing to know, purslane contains oxalates. If you're sensitive to oxalic acid, eat it with dairy to neutralize the effect. Harvest by cutting stems at the base. The plant regenerates fast and keeps producing until the first frost. That's lazy gardening gold. But the next one, most gardeners throw it away without knowing they're tossing out one of the most nutritious greens on the planet. Lamb's quarters. They call it wild spinach, and honestly, that's an insult to this plant. Because lamb's quarters has more protein, more calcium, more iron, and more vitamins than the spinach you buy at the store. Young leaves are tender with a mild, pleasant flavor, perfect raw in salads. Older leaves cook down beautifully, just like spinach. And those tiny seeds that form at the end of summer, you can harvest and cook them exactly like quinoa. Lamb's quarters grows in zones 3 through 10. That's nearly the entire United States. It handles drought, heat, cold, and terrible soil without complaint. Basically indestructible. The key is harvesting while the leaves are still young. Once the plant gets tall and starts flowering, the leaves turn tough. Keep cutting the tops continuously and you'll get fresh, tender leaves all season long. Now, let's talk about the most hated plant in suburban America and why you should be eating it instead of poisoning it. Dandelion. This is the most hated plant in suburban America. Millions of dollars spent every year trying to kill it. And yet, every single part of it is edible and incredibly nutritious. The leaves have more calcium than spinach, more iron than kale. They're loaded with vitamins A, C, and K. The flowers aren't just pretty. You can make wine from them, fry them into fritters, steep them into tea. And the roots, roast and grind dandelion roots into a caffeine-free coffee substitute that actually supports liver health. People have been drinking it for centuries. Dandelion thrives in zones 3 through 10. Its deep taproot breaks through compacted soil and pulls minerals up from depths that other plants can't reach. You basically cannot kill this plant. It will survive mowing, drought, frost, and neglect. Harvest the leaves young, before the plant flowers, for the mildest flavor. Dig the roots in autumn when they're thickest and most flavorful. They're literally growing in your lawn right now, waiting to be harvested instead of poisoned. But the next vegetable makes dandelions look high maintenance. Good King Henry. This is a perennial vegetable that was a staple of European cottage gardens for centuries. Then it mysteriously disappeared. Good King Henry gives you 3 different harvests from a single plant. The leaves cook like spinach. The young shoots taste like asparagus. And the flower buds are edible too. Plant it once, and it produces for 10 to 20 years. So why did it vanish? Because it does not fit the annual seed model. You cannot sell new seeds every spring to someone growing a perennial that comes back on its own. It simply was not profitable to promote. Good King Henry grows in zones 4 through 7. It tolerates poor soil, partial shade, and cold winters. Harvest the young asparagus-like shoots in early spring. Then let the plant grow and harvest leaves through the season. Plant it once in a forgotten corner and it will feed you for a decade while you do absolutely nothing. That is the definition of lazy gardening. Chickweed. Every gardener has seen chickweed and cursed it. That low-growing, sprawling mat of tiny leaves that takes over garden beds in cool weather. But here's the thing, chickweed has more protein by weight than spinach. It's rich in vitamins and minerals, and the flavour is mild and pleasant. Even picky eaters won't complain. Chickweed thrives in cool weather. It explodes in early spring and again in late fall, filling the gap when most other greens aren't producing. Harvest it with scissors, just grab a handful and snip. Rinse and toss directly into a salad. It grows in zones 4 through 9. Prefers moist, rich soil, but tolerates much worse. Scatter seeds in fall or early spring. They germinate quickly in cool conditions. The best part, chickweed regenerates fast. Cut it, and it grows back. You'll get multiple harvests per season from a plant you never asked for. This is a weed that deserves to be a crop. Now, number 6, it stings. But don't let that scare you away, because what's hiding behind those needles is one of the most valuable vegetables you can grow. Stinging nettle. Yes, it stings. Those tiny needle-like hairs on the leaves and stems inject formic acid into your skin on contact, and completely worth dealing with. Because stinging nettle is a nutritional powerhouse, loaded with protein, vitamins, minerals, and medicinal compounds that have been used in herbal medicine for thousands of years. Once you cook, dry, or blend stinging nettle, the sting disappears completely. Gone. You can eat it without any discomfort at all. Nettle spreads through underground rhizomes. Plant it once, and within a few years you'll have more than you can possibly use. It grows in zones 3 through 10. Wear gloves and use scissors. Harvest the young tips, 6 to 8 inches of new growth. Give it moist soil and partial shade, and the plant will expand on its own. No replanting, no fertilizing, just harvesting. The only challenge is controlling it, not growing it. And speaking of things that are hard to control, number 7 is the one I warned you about in the beginning. Jerusalem artichoke. Jerusalem artichokes, also called sunchokes, look like sunflowers above ground. Bright yellow flowers on stalks that can reach 10 feet tall. But underground, each plant produces dozens of knobby tubers. Plant 1 tuber. By fall, you'll dig up 20. The flavour is somewhere between a potato and an artichoke. Nutty, slightly sweet. You can roast them, mash them, slice them raw into salads. They're versatile and delicious. Here's the catch. They spread aggressively. Any tiny piece of tuber left in the ground will regrow next year. If you're not careful, they'll colonize your entire garden. Plant them where they have room to spread, or use a dedicated raised bed. Jerusalem artichokes grow in zones 3 through 9. They tolerate poor soil, drought, and complete neglect. Dig tubers in fall or winter whenever you need them. Leave a few in the ground, and next season they come back on their own. Plant once, and you have a self-renewing food source forever. No replanting, no fertilizing, no care. Orac, also called mountain spinach, and for good reason. While regular spinach and lettuce bolt and turn bitter the moment summer heat arrives, Orac keeps producing tender, edible leaves right through the hottest months. It comes in green, red, and golden varieties. The plants grow 4 to 6 feet tall with large arrow-shaped leaves. It's actually beautiful in a garden, ornamental and edible at the same time. Orac thrives in zones 4 through 9. It handles poor soil and drought. Self-sows readily, meaning once you grow it, it comes back on its own every year. Harvest the outer leaves first to stimulate new growth. Let some plants go to seed at the end of summer, and you'll never need to plant it again. A heat-tolerant green that takes care of itself. Next up, a weed that feeds you and improves your soil at the same time. Wild mustard, from germination to harvest, about 30 days. That makes wild mustard one of the fastest producing plants on this list. The leaves are peppery and bold, perfect in salads, stir-fries and sandwiches. The flowers are edible, and the seeds, grind them, and you've got homemade mustard. But wild mustard does something else most vegetables can't. It's a cover crop. Its roots break through compacted soil, and when you till the plants back into the ground, they add organic matter that feeds your garden. Even if you never harvest a single leaf, wild mustard improves your soil just by growing in it. It grows in zones 3 through 10. Scatter seeds in early spring or fall and forget about them. Let some plants go to seed at the end of the season and they'll come back next year without any help. It's a weed that feeds you and fixes your soil. Now, number 10. A plant named after the gold rush miners who ate it to survive. Miner's lettuce. California gold miners ate this plant during the gold rush to prevent scurvy. That's how it got its name. Miner's lettuce has distinctive round, lily pad-shaped leaves with a delicate stem poking through the center. It's unmistakable once you know what to look for. The leaves are packed with vitamin C. The flavor is mild and refreshing. And here's the real advantage. Miner's lettuce thrives in shade, deep shade, the kind of shade where every other vegetable gives up and dies. If you have a shady corner of your yard where nothing grows, this is your answer. It grows in zones 6 through 9, native to the west coast but adaptable elsewhere, self-sows readily. Scatter seeds in fall in a shady spot, harvest the tops when they're lush, and it'll come back every year on its own. A forgotten green that thrives on neglect. Plant it once and it feeds you forever. Quick pause. If you're realizing that growing food doesn't have to be hard work, hit that like button right now. And drop a comment telling me, which of these forgotten vegetables have you accidentally pulled out of your garden thinking it was a weed? I want to hear your stories. Borage. Borage produces stunning star-shaped blue flowers that taste mildly like cucumber. The leaves have that same cucumber flavor, fresh, light, and refreshing. Toss the flowers into salads for an edible decoration that actually tastes good. Use the leaves in drinks, soups, or anywhere you'd want a hint of cucumber. But borage isn't just food. It's a pollinator magnet. Bees absolutely love it. Plant borage near your other crops, and you'll see better pollination across your entire garden. Its deep roots also mine nutrients from the subsoil, improving the ground around it. Zones 3 through 10. Self-sows aggressively. Plant it once, and it pops up in new spots around your garden every year. Each new plant is a volunteer worker, feeding you, attracting pollinators, and improving your soil. This is a plant that works for you, not the other way around. Now, a weed that feeds you and heals you. Plantain. Not the banana. Plantain has been used as both food and medicine for centuries. The young leaves make a decent salad green. Older leaves are better cooked, sautéed, or added to soups. And the seeds are closely related to psyllium, the same fiber supplement millions of people buy in stores. But here's the real trick. If you get stung by a bee or bitten by an insect, crush a plantain leaf and press it directly onto the bite. It reduces swelling and pain almost immediately. Herbalists call it nature's band-aid. Plantain grows everywhere. Zones 3 through 12. It survives being stepped on, mowed over, and completely ignored. Poor soil, compacted ground, full sun, partial shade. It doesn't care. You literally cannot kill this plant, which makes it perfect for lazy gardeners. Wood sorrel. Wood sorrel has delicate heart-shaped leaves and small flowers. Pick a leaf, chew it, and you'll get a bright, tart burst of lemon flavor. Kids love it. They'll eat wood sorrel straight from the garden without being told. It's one of the easiest ways to get children interested in foraging and gardening. The leaves, flowers, and seed pods are all edible. Drop them in water for a refreshing lemony drink. Add them to salads for a citrus kick. garnish fish or chicken with them. Wood sorrel grows in zones 3 through 9. It prefers shade and moisture. Low growing, it thrives in those dark, damp corners where nothing else produces food. Self-sows readily. Zero maintenance, zero care, continuous production. And now, remember that vegetable I said thrives in conditions that would kill your tomatoes. Here it is. Amaranth. This is the one. Number 14. Amaranth. A towering plant that grows 5 to 8 feet tall and thrives in conditions that would kill most vegetables. Extreme heat, dry soil, complete neglect. Amaranth doesn't just survive these conditions, it produces abundantly in them. Indigenous peoples across the Americas grew amaranth for thousands of years. They revered it as a sacred grain. It was so important to their food systems that colonizers actively tried to suppress its cultivation. The young leaves cook like a mild spinach, perfect sautéed or tossed fresh into salads. The tiny seeds are packed with protein, iron and calcium. Cook them like quinoa or grind them into flour. Amaranth grows in zones 4 through 11. It self-sows readily. Cut the flower heads in fall, thresh out the seeds, and you have a massive harvest of grain from a plant that asks nothing from you. Fennel. Every part of fennel is edible. The feathery leaves, the aromatic seeds, the thick stalks, even the roots. It has a distinctive licorice anise flavor that's bold and unmistakable. The seeds are used in cooking and baking worldwide. The leaves are perfect with fish. The stalks can be roasted or grilled. It's one of the most versatile herbs you can grow. If you've ever driven through California, you've seen wild fennel growing along roadsides, in ditches, on hillsides, thriving without a drop of water or a moment of human attention. That's how tough this plant is. Fennel grows in zones 4 through 10. It self-sows aggressively, harvests seeds in late summer when they turn brown. The plants keep producing year after year with zero intervention. A flavorful plant that takes care of itself. Now, an invasive species that lazy gardeners should actually celebrate. Garlic mustard. In many parts of North America, garlic mustard is classified as an invasive species. Agencies spend millions trying to eradicate it. Homeowners pull it out by the handful. But for lazy gardeners, invasive is an advantage. It means the plant grows vigorously without any help. More food, zero effort. Garlic mustard tastes exactly like its name suggests, a unique blend of garlic and mustard. The tender young leaves make incredible pesto. They are great in salads, sautéed as a side, or mixed into pasta. It is a biennial. First year produces leaves. Second year produces flowers and seeds. Both stages are edible. Zones 4 through 8. Loves shade and moist soil. Harvest young leaves in spring for the best flavor. Let it self-seed, and it comes back every year, thicker than before. More food with zero effort. That's the invasive advantage. Next, a weed that does not just feed you. It actually feeds your soil. Clover. White clover and red clover are both edible. But clover does something that almost no other vegetable can, and it fixes nitrogen from the air and deposits it directly into the soil. That means clover actually makes the ground more fertile just by growing in it. Every other plant nearby benefits. The flowers have a sweet, mild flavor. Eat them fresh, dry them for tea. Clover tea has been used in traditional medicine for respiratory issues and inflammation for generations. Clover grows in zones 3 through 10. It tolerates poor soil, drought, foot traffic, and regular mowing. Let it grow in your lawn and you've got an edible, nitrogen-fixing ground cover that never needs replanting. A weed that improves your soil while feeding you. That's lazy gardening at its finest. Malabar spinach. Regular spinach gives up and dies the moment temperatures rise. Malabar spinach does the exact opposite. It thrives in heat. This is a climbing green. It grows up fences, trellises, and even other plants. Thick, glossy leaves that produce abundantly all summer long. Wherever regular spinach fails, Malabar spinach succeeds. The leaves are slightly thicker than regular spinach with a mild flavor. Perfect for salads, stir-fries, and soups. And the more you harvest, the more it grows. Malabar spinach grows in zones 7 through 11 as a perennial. In cooler zones, grow it as a heat-loving annual. Let a few stems flower and drop seeds at the end of the season. They'll come back next year on their own. One grower reported 3 years of continuous harvest from a single planting and watered it only 5 times total. That's not gardening, that's the plant doing all the work for you. Mallow, also called cheeseweed. And here's why: the green seed pods, when they're young, look exactly like tiny wheels of cheese. It's one of those facts you can't forget once you hear it. Mallow has been eaten and used medicinally for thousands of years. The young leaves are tender and mild. Older leaves have a mucilaginous texture, thick and slightly slimy, which makes them perfect for thickening soups and stews. The roots can be cooked like parsnips. That mucilaginous quality isn't just useful in cooking, it's soothing to the digestive system. Traditional herbalists have used mallow for stomach issues for centuries. Mallow grows in zones 4 through 10. It pops up in gardens, vacant lots, and any ground that's been disturbed. Heat, drought, poor soil, it doesn't matter. Self-sows readily. A forgotten vegetable that grows itself and feeds you without any effort. And finally, number 20. Shepherd's purse. Our final forgotten vegetable has one of the most distinctive features in the plant world. Tiny, heart-shaped seed pods that line the stem like a string of valentines. The young leaves have a mild cabbage flavor with a peppery kick. They're excellent in salads, stir-fries, and soups. People have been eating shepherd's purse for centuries across Europe and Asia. It's a cool weather plant, zones 3 through 10. Self-sows aggressively. You'll find it growing in the cracks of your garden beds, along pathways, in disturbed soil, anywhere life can take hold. It grows while you're busy doing other things, the perfect closing to a list of vegetables that ask nothing from you and give everything in return. Human agriculture creates constant disturbance. We dig, we till, we turn soil every season. And these forgotten vegetables evolved over thousands of years to take advantage of exactly that kind of disruption. That's why they grow like weeds. Because in ecological terms, they are weeds, plants perfectly adapted to the conditions we create every time we garden. And that's why they're perfect for lazy gardeners. You don't need to fight nature to grow food. You just need to work with the plants that nature already designed for disturbed ground. If this video changed how you think about weeds, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a comment telling me which of these 20 forgotten vegetables you're going to stop pulling out and start eating. Stop fighting your weeds. Start harvesting them.